As a mentor, you have two primary responsibilities: to engage with the student in the internship and to ensure the student intern's safety. Engaging in the internship means that you will fulfill the following requirements. Most importantly, you provide mentorship and experiences that provide the student intern with skills and attitudes needed for lifelong learning, competitive employment, and continuous improvement. You should also share your professional experience and lessons learned with the intern. To ensure a successful experience for the intern, you will work with the student to develop and implement a learning contract to guide their experience. You may also be asked to periodically evaluate the intern and sign off on their time. The method and frequency will vary depending on the teacher's preference. If any part of the learning contract requires specialized skills, you must provide appropriate training to the student. And finally, you must communicate any concerns regarding the intern with the program coordinator in the timely manner. It is very important that you fulfill these requirements and communicate with the program coordinator when challenges arise. As I've mentioned, the learning contract is developed collaboratively with the intern. It guides all aspects of the internship. You will meet with the intern virtually to brainstorm, develop, and finalize the contract and action plan before in-person visits begin. In the learning contract, you and the intern will develop 2 SMART goals to accomplish by the end of the internship, outline a simple action plan for achieving each goal, and set the intern's schedule for the days and times they will visit your site. Ultimately, the learning contract guides the intern's capstone project. While you are not directly responsible for the project, you should check in with the intern regularly to monitor their progress. Now, let's take a look at an exemplary sample of a learning contract. The learning contract development process begins with establishing 2 SMART goals. First, you will draft some dumb goals, meaning those that are not SMART. The student will come to your first meeting with some ideas, but may need your help to choose a focus. Then, you and the intern will review the guiding questions for each of the aspects of a SMART goal. The goal is to make the final version specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. At the end, you and the intern will write final versions of their goals that meet these criteria. Let's look at this example more closely. Notice that the chart is organized into 2 columns, one for each goal. The intern begins by drafting 2 possible non-SMART goals at the top. In this example, the student is in an internship related to marketing. The text in the standard font is part of the template. The circled text in the script font is the student's response. Notice that the draft goals are vague and lack the details needed to create an action plan. In this example, the student has identified one experience/skill goal and one that is related to applying a professional skill to accomplish a task. Let's focus on goal number 2, create a social media post. The first set of guiding questions help to make the goal more specific. They are, what do you want to accomplish? Who needs to be included? And why these goals? The student's response addresses those questions. She wants to promote something on social media and needs her mentor's help to figure out what to promote. She wants to develop this skill because social media is an important marketing tool. Similarly, there are guiding questions to help make the goal measurable. How can we measure progress and know that you've met your goal? You will work with the student to review each set of guided questions. Each of the guiding questions will help you to revise the original goal into one that is SMART. that is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. In this example, the student and mentor finalize two SMART goals. Their first goal will be that by February 16th, I will be able to explain why or why not I will pursue marketing as a career and whether or not to pursue a major in college. Their second will be by March 30th, I will create, edit, post, and track the impact of a social media post to promote a product or event. Now you can develop an action plan to accomplish each goal. The template provides guiding questions to help identify the resources that the student will need, potential stumbling blocks and how they can avoid them, and the evidence of their progress they will collect along the way. Then you will work together to identify the steps that the intern will take to accomplish their SMART goal. Notice that the resources, stumbling blocks, and evidence are addressed for each goal separately. The evidence they will collect is very important and will be a key component of their capstone project. Without evidence collected along the way, they won't be able to demonstrate the progress they made towards achieving their goal. Now it's time to outline a step-by-step action plan for achieving each goal. Notice that this plan has 6 steps and each step has a due date. Some plans will have more steps than others. It's important to understand that plans should be flexible and are expected to change. Regardless, it's important to start with a plan and update it as needed along the way. The final part of the contract establishes the intern's schedule. When will they begin? Which days and times will they come to your office? Are there any expectations to the schedule that can be planned? Please note that the student is not required to work over school holidays, but they may choose to do so. In fact, those days can be a great opportunity for the student to have a more immersive experience in your working environment. Now that the contract is complete, the mentor and the student must sign that they agree to the plan. Then the student will submit the contract to their teacher for final approval. Remember, in-person visits cannot begin until the teacher has approved the learning contract. In April, we will come together to celebrate our intern's growth at our capstone celebration. At this event, interns will share a brief presentation that demonstrates synthesis of their learning, the progress they made towards achieving their internship goals, reflections on their experiences, and evidence of what they've accomplished. We strongly encourage all mentors to attend to hear from their intern and the others from across the district. It's a great event. Let's pause and reflect on what we've discussed so far. Answer these questions in the Google form before you move on to the next section.